centre of the conversation, BRICS.
Russia will continue
We count on the BRICS Business Council.
21st March 2026. Iran is being bombed, top leaders taken out. A country of 90 million people watching itself being systematically dismantled by the most powerful military on earth.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
And on that day, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian picks up the phone, calls Narendra Modi. Not the UN, not NATO, not G7, India. Why? Because of a club that Iran had joined barely 2 years ago, a club that promised something bold, that the world's emerging powers would stand together. The BRICS. Iran didn't just call, it made a request to the BRICS chair India. Play an independent role, stop the aggression, because this bloc represents 40% of the world's population, 20% of the global GDP, and over 1.17 trillion in internal trade. That's not symbolism, that's weight. So what did BRICS do? 34 days later, New Delhi hosts the BRICS Deputy Foreign Ministers, meeting all 11 members. Show up, Iran is there, so is the UAE, a close US ally, hosting American bases from where operations against Iran have been conducted. Russia and China are also there, backing Iran. And India, the chair, walking a tightrope. The position of India? 2 words: strategic ambiguity. Now, 2 days of talks, and what do we get? Just 2 words to describe the war: deep concern. That's it. Some called it a failure, a diplomatic dead end. But there's this thing: this wasn't a failure. This was a signal that BRICS has changed, and more importantly, India's role in it has changed too. And today we tell you how. Let's start with the obvious villain of the story, Donald Trump.
Anybody wants to be in BRICS, that's fine, but we're going to put tariffs on your nation. Everybody dropped out. They're all dropping out of BRICS. BRICS was an attack on the dollar.
American power rests on 3 pillars: military dominance, dollar dominance, and of course, institutional dominance. Now, meaning the ability to write the rules and make everyone else follow them. But BRICS is quietly, systematically chipping away at all 3 of these pillars. Take the dollar, for instance. About 88% of global forex transactions involve the US dollar, which means Washington has a weapon, a financial weapon. It can cut countries off, just like that. It did it to Russia, it has done it to Iran for years. Trump more recently tried to do it with his tariffs. BRICS countries noticed and started building an exit ramp. China and Russia now settle almost 90% of their trade in local currencies. The Chinese yuan is used for roughly half of intra-BRICS trade, and India is experimenting with rupee oil deals. America noticed this and of course did not like it. In 2024, Trump threatened 100% tariffs on BRICS nations for pursuing alternatives to the dollar. By 2025, actual tariffs kick in, 10% blanket, then 50% tariffs specifically on Brazil and India. Because here's the fear: if BRICS works, it creates an alternate global system, a system where the West is not the referee anymore. Which is perhaps why Uncle Sam, aka Trump, may have cheered the lack of consensus on the West Asia war at the BRICS meeting in New Delhi. What he and others of his ilk probably do not recognize is the fact that this is just an adjusting period for this bloc. After the addition of several new members last year, many of them are rivals. BRICS today is not the BRICS of yesterday. It started in 2001, Brazil, Russia, India, China, then South Africa joined in, simple emerging economies coming together. But today, it's BRICS Plus, Egypt, Ethiopia, Saudi, Iran, UAE, Indonesia, and suddenly This is not just an economic club anymore. This is geopolitics. And here's the twist. Many of these countries are on opposite sides of the conflict. Some are US allies, some are US adversaries, some are energy suppliers, some are energy consumers. So when a crisis like West Asia happens, consensus becomes almost impossible. Because for some, this war is about security. For others, it's about oil. For some, it's about alliances. For others, it's about survival. So what you saw in New Delhi was not dysfunction. It was diversity colliding with reality. Now let's talk about India, because this is where the story really sharpens. India didn't pick a side in the West Asia war. And that wasn't confusion, my friends. That was strategy. Think about it. India has defense ties with Israel, connectivity projects with Iran, energy dependence on the Gulf, and a strategic partnership with the US. Pick one side and you lose the others. So what does India do? It walks the middle path. Not silence, not indecision, but calibrated ambiguity. It says, we want de-escalation, we want dialogue, but we're not going to be dragged into your war. And as BRICS chair, India's job is even harder. Not to impose unity, because unity cannot be imposed, but to hold the group together. It's a diverse group, but holding it together is key. Not loud leadership, but quiet, stabilizing leadership. Because right now, the idea of BRICS matters more than perfect agreement. And that idea is already gaining currency as a cohesive counterweight to Western-led institutions, particularly in the wake of global disagreements over issues like the Ukraine war or the war on Iran, and a man in the White House who insists on new global disruptions almost every month. Yes, the West Asia war exposed cracks in BRICS. Yes, BRICS couldn't speak in one voice. But zoom out, look at the bigger picture, look at the numbers. Intra-BRICS merchandise trade expanded more than 13-fold since 2003. Exports reached 1.17 trillion in 2024, growing at an annual average rate of 13.3%, significantly higher than the rate of global trade at 5.7%. The share of BRICS in global GDP reached 39.7% in 2025. The bloc accounts for more than 40% of global oil production, around 25% of global commodity exports. This is not just a talking shop. This is not an economic bloc of genuine consequence. It's a geopolitical bombshell to Western hegemony. It's a wake-up call to the world order built after World War II. IMF, World Bank, UN Security Council, all designed without the participation of most of the world. But now, the countries who were left out are rich enough, big enough, confident enough to build something of their own. And that, my friends, is BRICS. And that is why, on the day Iran was being bombed, Pezeshkian did not call the UN. He didn't call NATO or the G20. He called India. Thank you for watching this broadcast. We will come back to you on Access. Stay tuned again.